Hello everyone, welcome to Stilt Video Series. As we're going through a pandemic right now, there is a such thing as a Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, or CARES Act. People who own an H1-B visa are those who will benefit from the stimulus check as part of the act. But how exactly does this stimulus check work? Watch this video and you will find out. COVID-19 stimulus checks and non-immigrants. People who own an H1-B visa, as well as dependents of theirs and other types of non-immigrant visa holders should be eligible for a stimulus check. Of course, this also depends on whether you're a non-immigrant with an SSN and whether you've filed your tax returns or not. If all this is good, then you should be able to get a COVID-19 stimulus check. Which non-immigrants qualify for stimulus checks? You should be aware that not all non-immigrants will be able to qualify for the COVID-19 stimulus check. Only a select number will meet the requirement. To be more specific, the only non-immigrants who will get this check will be those categorized as resident aliens by the IRS. Therefore, non-immigrants without an SSN or students on F1 student visas and visiting parents are not eligible for this check. What is the eligibility criteria to receive a COVID-19 stimulus check? Before you become available for the COVID-19 stimulus check, there are a few requirements that you should meet to get this financial aid. Basically, these requirements apply to the majority of citizens from the US. Under specific conditions, even children can qualify. You must have a Social Security number or SSN if you want to be eligible. Besides, you must have filed all your 2019 tax returns. The 2018 tax returns may be considered too, though. It's also essential to point out that when it comes to children, it is your responsibility as a parent to have an SSN. Even if the child has an SSN, they will not get the stimulus check unless you have a Social Security number. If you have an H4 dependent visa holder spouse that you filed taxes with, then both people should own an SSN. Bear in mind, though, that people with an ITIN are not eligible for the stimulus check. COVID-19 stimulus checks and H1-B visa holders. If you're someone with an H1-B visa, then there are some other requirements that you should meet if you want to qualify for the stimulus check. You will be tested for substantial presence, after which you will have to wait for your stimulus check to arrive if everything's well. Substantial presence test and stimulus checks. There is a such thing as a substantial presence test. Substantial presence refers to the amount of time the non-immigrant should have been in the US. In order to be eligible for the stimulus check, someone with a US visa should have been in the US for specific amounts of time. For instance, in 2020, they must have been present in the United States for at least 31 days. They should have also been present in the US 183 days within a 3-year period that includes not only the year 2020, but also 2019 and 2018. Basically, this should be covering the physical presence for the whole of 2020, another 4 months in the previous year, 2019, as well as 1/6 of 2018. If you fulfill the presence requirements for all the mentioned dates, then you will be lucky enough to qualify for the stimulus check. When will the H1-B COVID-19 stimulus checks arrive? The stimulus checks will start being distributed this week by the IRS. These checks will be sent out in waves for a while, and this distribution will keep going until September of this year. You just have to wait for yours for a couple of weeks and it should arrive. In case you're waiting for too many weeks and still see no stimulus check arriving, it is best to see if you're actually eligible for one in the first place. If you are eligible, then all you have to do is wait patiently because it should arrive at last. Also, you should be aware that this check doesn't arrive every month. It's a one-time thing offered due to the hardship brought by the COVID-19 crisis. In order to extend this relief package, the US government would have to pass another bill. How much money should non-immigrants expect from their stimulus check? You may be wondering about the amount of money you're going to get from the stimulus check. Well, if you're an H1-B visa holder, then you might get a minimum threshold of wages mandated by the LCA. But the threshold might actually get over the minimum wage requirement to be eligible for this check. Therefore, it's best to see with your employer beforehand and see if you're eligible for this sum. If you're an unmarried, non-immigrant with a visa, then you could qualify for the stimulus check if you earn less than $75,000. You will get a $1,200 one-time payment. Meanwhile, if you're married, you and your spouse could get a one-time payment of $2,400 as long as you file for your taxes jointly, yet earn no more than $150,000. If the marriage resulted in children, there will be an additional $500 for each child as long as the parents have an SSN. The amount is going to be $0 if you're a single filer with an income of over $99,000 or joint filers with an income over $198,000. How to receive your COVID-19 stimulus check. It's not that difficult to receive your stimulus check, but you need to know what to do and where to get it from. Usually, the stimulus checks should be deposited in U.S. bank accounts if you own one. But if you provided information about any direct deposit on your tax returns from the previous 2 years, then the check will be directly submitted there. The IRS will make sure of that. Conversely, if that's not an option, the IRS will still make it possible for you to receive your stimulus checks. They will open an online portal where you can provide your direct deposit bank information as a taxpayer. If you haven't filed your federal tax returns or you received no federal tax refund in your bank account during the last year, things will be a little different. You will get your stimulus check in the mail instead, so be sure to check it out if the above options don't apply for you. Conclusion: if you're an H1-B visa holder, then it's essential to know how the COVID-19 stimulus check is offered. Make sure that you fit the eligibility criteria before you spend weeks expecting a stimulus check, and see where you can collect your check from depending on your situation. It's also important to look at how much cash you can get from this one-time payment so you don't have any surprises. Hopefully, this video has offered enough info in this regard. We hope this video has been helpful to you. At Stilt, we provide financial services for immigrants and the underserved. Subscribe to our channel and visit stilt.com for more details.